One of the things we think of Jesus saying is, "Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy." When we think of mercy, it's really important to remember we don't own it. We don't possess it. We're often looking for it. But for us to become mercy, to be merciful, we need to get it from somewhere else. And it is God that allows us to borrow and participate in God's mercy. Mercy is something that affects everything you do. It becomes a way of being, a way of life. I remember in telling the story of St. Francis, they said he was someone who prayed. He prayed so intently that he stopped praying and he became prayer. I think God is calling us to become mercy. One of the things that Father Paul always felt called to were the streets of New York City. So he did what a lot of people had done throughout history. He got out his soapbox and he started just preaching and teaching the scriptures to people, anyone who would listen. But bit by bit, he found so many people that were broken, so many people that needed help. And he would invite them up to Graymoor, to the Holy Mountain. We even had the opportunity to get a house here in New York City where nobody wanted to go. It was the village. Nobody wanted to be there. We got the old rectory of St. Joseph's in the village, and it kind of became an outpost. Just down the street, there was a women's prison that when women came out, they had nowhere to go. And Friars responded. Father Dan Egan, known later as the junkie priest, the priest that would go work with all those junkie women that were just getting out of prison, he set up a house for them called Hope Cottage, so that where they thought they had no hope, they could go up to Graymoor and live, get their life together, and move forward. And we can say that from that mountaintop, it was also where Father Paul started praying for Christian unity. He saw the division, the wars, the problems in our world. He could not just sit there and be quiet. He began to pray for the unity, which then became a worldwide movement, the Week of Prayer for Christian Unity.
I've always known about Graymoor as an Episcopalian. It was noted as a place where Christian unity was celebrated. And what is so moving about the Franciscan Friars of the Atonement is the way that they have taken the Lord's Prayer that they may all be one, and has made that the very heart and soul of their apostolate.
I like what I do because of the people I meet. The people I meet come from all walks of life. They come from all different religions and religious backgrounds. They all have this keen sense of awareness of the brokenness of humanity, and they want to overcome that brokenness. We get to actually share with each other the wonderful gifts that each of our religions brings to the world. So that sense of reconciliation isn't only about the unity of the church, it's also about the reconciliation of human beings and human hearts that are broken.
Well, one of the characteristics about Graymoor is that there is always an open door. Everyone's welcome. And even a lot of groups that perhaps wouldn't find a welcome in other places. For example, on our St. Anthony Sunday, this huge, wonderfully vibrant, loving community of Haitians comes and joins us for a day. Graymoor is there for the person seeking a space alone, a time alone with God. Graymoor is a place that draws people who need mercy, but it also does draw very many merciful people. We have a lot of people that are engaged with us, as Father Paul would say, as children of the atonement, those people who have been filled with this mission of atonement, who partner with us, who co-minister with us. We have great people like Tony, who at the top of the hill teaches men every day a simple thing, just learning how to cook and be a cook, and it gives them a life skill.
So he's going down to get more fruit? On the pineapples, what we do? Cut straight down, right? Where the core is?
The thing that sent me here is, like, I always tell a story how I went out to a fine restaurant in Manhattan one time, and, you know, it was expensive dinner. The guy was famous, chef, and all that. I always wanted to go eat his food and all that stuff. And, you know, it cost like $600 for dinner for 2 people. But then when I left the restaurant, I went to get back into the limo, and there was a guy going through the garbage can. And I was like, there's something wrong with this, you know. I just had this dinner, and this guy's eating out of a garbage can, you know. That's when I wanted to make a change, you know.
You got to be careful when this open these, the steam doesn't get you. And you're going to put 2 on each one, right?
Tony's a terrific mentor. He's a person that you can always come to if you need help or assistance.
They come here for recovery, they get to sign the job, and then we train him on how to set a table, how to pour coffee, how to serve food. A lot of these guys feel worthless when they get here, and they're ashamed of being here. I try to explain to these guys that it's not over just because you're here. You know, this is a new start. You've wiped this slate clean.
I've been a waiter before, but I never really worked hard. I feel like it's really built my work ethic up. Overall, it's helping me realize that I have to do things and not just like say that I'm going to do things.
You could add in the rest of the cantaloupe this way, and then we'll...
I just want to like have a good life and be a good person, and I think this is a great environment to achieve that.
To accept things I cannot change, courage change things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
You know, coming up here, you're not really sure what to expect, but when you get a chance to feel like you're wanted and feel like you can be of service to, you know, the friars, the gentlemen that live here, the people that come up for the retreats, it really is a fulfilling experience.
Oh, the guys definitely keep me here. And the Friars mission and all that stuff, that keeps me here. You know, the world needs it. The guys need it. People in recovery needs a place like this to go. And that's why it's got a great success rate. That's why people come back here.
At our ministries, we have a lot of co-ministers, lay people that come and work with us that offer their skills to move forward this mission of healing and unity, reparation, bringing people back to a wholeness. So one of our partnerships is working with Project Renewal. It is a post-therapeutic environment. You have gone through alcohol and drug rehab, and you need a continued environment with which to grow. The way they keep things growing is to teach people how to grow.
We have a maximum of 24 men who come down to work on the farm at different times. They're starting planting the vegetables, the seeds inside. We bring it outside, and you can see the lights starting to turn on for many of them.
This is like really therapeutic, working on the farm. It helps me calm down, relax. This is physical work, but at the same time, it helps me get ready for, you know, life's challenges. And, you know, I'm really grateful to be here, and this place is amazing.
They say you can't keep what you have until you give it away. So it's like one person helping another. Each one teach one, and together we reach one. You know, that's what they say. You get help, and then you help the next man or woman, however you can.
Many of the men here have had very limited contact with the outside world for the last several years. They've been so involved with their own issues, homelessness, family problems, that they haven't been able to reach out and create relationships with other individuals. I see the Friars being that link for many of them with the outside world.
It's funny because as you plant the seeds and as they grow, it's sort of like sobriety. You know, I would have never thought, ever, that I would be clean, especially 5 months. And the gifts that I've gotten the last 5 months it's unexplainable. They make us feel like we're men worthy enough of respect and love. I didn't feel like that when I came in here, and now I actually do. The Friars are amazing. They open their house, they feed us, they clothe us, they give us knowledge, they give us hope.
I don't think a lot of people go to be merciful expecting something in return. I think that if they've emptied themselves, they've offered themselves to God, and they become instruments of mercy, mercy just simply abounds around them.
It's that kind of thing of being able to see the human being who is in need of love. And that's exactly what Father Paul Wattson did. And it's certainly what Pope Francis is doing.
Mercy is something that defines you. It's who you become. You become mercy for someone.